The Redeemer has risen.
Hey, what's up guys, Massive here, coming to do another video commentary, and today we're going to be doing another blast from the past. I'm going to be casting a game between Unleashed and IamTwinKlef. So I'm just going to refer to him as Klef. I presume he was good back then because Unleashed apparently was a god of all gamers, amongst all gamers. So yeah, we're going to be on the map Tournament Rift, and over on the left hand side here we can see Unleashed playing as the orange ZOCOM, and over on the right his opponent is going to be IamTwinKlef as the green nod. So we're on Tournament Rift. It was a very old game this, so I can't expect the meta to be fully fleshed out during this time. Now we know that Nod would probably go Shadow Teams every single time on this map versus ZOCOM. I guess it was a thing back then, but one thing I've noticed is that Shadow Teams struggled to shoot sometimes. In 1.02 they were bugged, and it wasn't until much later that we discovered that you could spam click the force attack and it would actually fix that. But nevertheless, we can see Unleashed here going for triple engineers. This is very classic Unleashed. This is what we come to have expect from him. Is he following this up with some sort of Orca build? Mind you, if he is going for Orcas, it's going to be ZOCOM Orcas. They fire a projectile that is doesn't lock onto a target, so you have to force fire the ground if you want to hit something that moves, which has a drawback, and also pros as well. Pros is that they unload all their ammo quickly, so they can kind of hit and run better compared to the regular Orcas, and they can escape death much easier that way, especially with the ceramic armor upgrade which they get. Though they only get 33% more HP compared to the Firehawks, which benefit from ceramic armor as well. And hammerheads as well also benefit greatly. But with all that said, not much is happening at the moment. He is ZOCOM Unleashed, so he's going to have slightly slower harvesters compared to his opponent, IamTwinKlef here. He's going for eco. I wonder if it was a norm back then to expand on one power plant as Nod. Typically you would do that nowadays, but you can criticize players for these things, but it took years to really flesh out these things. I mean, we played thousands of games, tens of thousands of games, so no wonder, to be completely frank with you. But he could be going for double war factory. Unleashed, he does have a scout in the base here. He can see the MCV still put, so he can probably presume that there is a 2-war factory coming. It looks like IamTwinKlef is not building anything. Maybe it's a mind game of sort. But let's see what he's planning to do here. He's going for double war factory now. He's on 4 harvesters, which is going to probably prompt Unleashed to, you know, pack his MCV up again and go for a double war factory. Pitbull spam. Pits tend to fare well versus Bike Buggy, but only if you put them in a line formation. If you don't put pits in a line formation, they have a tendency of stacking, and they can take massive splash damage from bikes, and you can lose all your Pitbull forces that way. But I just want to do something real quick. I know you guys sometimes in my comment section complain about me moving my mouse too quickly. Mouse scroll speed, if it's on maximum, it helps me gaming, but if I'm casting, it's nice having a slower scroll so it doesn't get too, you know, obnoxious, the quick scrolling. But he's going to come in here with a Pitbull. He can see the double, what? He's on, so IamTwinKlef is going for a Reckoner. There's already pits in the base here though. Did Unleashed actually fall for it and go for double war factory? No, he didn't. He packed his NCV up, moved it down here. He's going for an op center, but this was scouted much really soon because he had the foxhole in the base. I would have, you know, automatically assumed that it was a double war factory, but no, indeed he is not doing that. Engineers, he's going to try and focus those down, but not to be. This Reckoner shouldn't get taken out. It has a few Scorp tanks here to fend these Pitbulls off. Unleashed is not going to kill this, so I'm not sure why he's sticking around here, but nevertheless, Unleashed, he's still spamming out Pitbulls. He's on 5 harvesters. Remember, he is ZOCOM. He's going to have slow harvesters, though. He is ahead in eco. He has a 3rd refinery up. He also has the spikes as well, so Unleashed in this game is looking at being in a very good position. Let's see what IamTwinKlef can do in this position from here on out. He's on 5 harvesters, though he doesn't have an expansion of his own. He needs to take care of those spikes. That's why he made those engineers in his Reckoner. I guess he knew that was coming, though there is one problem for him. He's going to come across a garrisonable structure here, and he's probably going to be unable to take these spikes. Maybe he could take this one on the far side, but yeah, he might be able to get down here. Reckoners do move faster compared to back then, but yeah, he's going to take this spike right here. Nice move. He's also going to move towards the enemy base, though Unleashed is not going to allow any building to be captured because he is well aware of that Reckoner. Refinery getting queued to this field, though I guess IamTwinKlef has different opinions here. He wants to push from Unleashed with some aggressive builds. He's going to have to make sure that his harvesters go all the way back to base as well. So you may want to do a stop move on that just before it returns to base. So he's going to probably build a Grenadier squad here. Is he on tier 2 Unleashed in this game? No, I don't think he is. He's okay, he must be. I don't know where he placed it though. Okay, he's placed it here. Maybe because he could expand his build radius to this blue field so he can place the refinery closer, which is a smart move indeed. You don't see it often nowadays. But yeah, Scorpion tanks in the back of Unleashed's base. These rocket harvesters are going to put some damage onto them. Should be able to get some work done here though. He is coming across a lot of pit bulls, so he may just get overrun completely. And those can get taken out. Meanwhile, IamTwinKlef, he's docking his refinery, his harvester here. Nice work though. I don't think he recalled that back to base. No, he didn't. He actually pulled one of his harvesters to that field. Smart move because that field's almost depleted. You should always think about transferring harvesters before your field is depleted. Don't do it when it's just about to deplete, because then you stall for funds. And you want to make sure that you can expand and also make sure your eco is running smoothly at the same time. Don't want any stalling to happen. That's bad. But yeah, he's going to come across pit bulls here. Harvesters are going to get taken out. He's not microing them. He needs to pull them to his war factory. Pulls one, but I think Unleashed is going to pay dearly for this. He's pulling the pit bulls in towards the Scorpion tanks, which means more dead pit bulls. And those pit bulls are going to get into the back of Klef's base, but I think that he has enough really to stop that, especially considering how few of them are on low HP. Unleashed is wasting so many pit bulls now. That was unnecessary. He may be actually gifting IamTwinKlef the upper hand that he needs in this game. Though Unleashed, he did actually retake this spike, I think, unless IamTwinKlef did get that engineer sniped earlier by the pit bull shot, which could have been the case. Pit bulls coming into this base, they're going to get taken out, and he may want to get that harvest back to work. There is blue Tiberium, a lot of it down here. I think if TwinKlef is to get back into this like fully, he should really think of expanding this field. But yeah, Scorpion tanks roaming across the map freely, but Unleashed, he's still content on building pit bulls. I guess back then you couldn't go Scorp Predator tanks because they were extremely bugged. They would have ranked up these units for sure upon each kill. So I can definitely see the reason for Unleashed going for this move with this pit bull spam, though obviously Scorpion tanks are going to tear them to shreds in numbers, so that's something that Unleashed needs to be wary of. Maybe you could go for like a hammerhead switch. ZOCOM hammers are very lethal. But yeah, more pit bulls, more Scorpion tanks being streamed into the base here. He's going to try and take these out. But I just feel that he's suiciding too many units now. IamTwinKlef, he needs to maybe transition to infantry, considering how Unleashed is committed to this pit bull spam. But he's going for tech now, presumably for laser capacitors, which is going to help him a lot versus this. But does he have enough here to stop these pit bulls? Arguably he doesn't. He may want to get these two tanks in the heavy HP back to near the war factory, especially this veteran one. He needs to pull his harvest as well towards the war factory. He's not doing that. Unleashed going to get some nice snipes here. Obelisk comes down. Scorpion tank laser capacitors is done. So if Unleashed sticks around, he could be losing because he has no reinforcements. So if he loses this standing army here, these Scorpion tanks can be a problem. But I presume if he gets a tier 3 down, he can maybe go for sonic emitters and hold that back. But yeah, he still has those 3 spikes Unleashed in this game compared to the one of IamTwinKlef. Though if IamTwinKlef stays alive in this game for a long period of time, not only is he going to be have a Tiberium advantage because he'll have all this field to harvest, but he'll also, you know, be able to potentially even secure that blue Tiberium as well, considering how he has the upgrade advantage with the laser capacitors. So yeah, things are looking not too bad for IamTwinKlef, all things considered. Unleashed can no longer spam pit bulls. I just don't see that happening. He needs to consider a transition. He's going for a tier 3 now, and this is obviously going to be mortars because he's spamming a butt ton of pit bulls. But yeah, I mean, hammerheads would be decent, but considering how he's on tier 3, the knob player, I don't really see that being an issue anymore for him because he can just spam knob raider buggies, which also have a decent buff with lasers versus air. And they actually benefit more versus air compared to versus infantry, the laser buggies. So he's going to probably outflank him here with these Scorpion tanks. Unleashed, he's not prepared for this. He probably has a sonic emitter queued, I presume. There it goes down. And a nice line formation as well for Unleashed to deal with that. But he can maneuver around this sonic emitter if he micros. But instead he's going to come around the base here, try and take out the harvesters in the back. Pit bulls being recalled back to base. I don't think IamTwinKlef is aware of these. He has 2 Scorp tanks in the back. He's just continuing to spam these out. He's economically doing fine. Surprised that neither one of these guys has been able to take the blue tip this whole time. More harvesters getting destroyed meanwhile. And these sonic emitter shots are not doing enough damage, I feel. And he's just suiciding Pitbulls to their doom now. He needs to micro. Unleashed can't afford to lose this Pitbull force. What are you doing, Unleashed? Push them back. Pull them back. That's unfortunate. He's trying to kill these off, I guess. He may want to go for a Marath tank. All this base looks like it was sold or either destroyed. So that's going to be a problem for Unleashed. He no longer has build radius there. And Unleashed is just he's just down to this corner. He's only on 4 harvesters now as well. So things have completely turned around for the Nob player. If I were IamTwinKlef now, I'd probably place my MCV here so I can place down a refinery at this field. If you deploy your MCV here, you just have enough build radius to deploy some refinery here. So that's one way on Tournament Rift to secure the blue Tiberium. If you've already expanded this field, you don't have to come all the way around here. But yeah, Unleashed has banked a lot of money up from these Tiberium spikes this game. And he's got a Marv out right now. This is typical Unleashed. He may want to consider... he's still content on going Pitbulls. This is Unleashed. You expect people, the normal people, to expand, but to transition, but Unleashed doesn't. So your transition ends up being, weak versus his Pitbulls, because Pitbulls, typically tend to counter things that are weak versus, main battle tanks. So he's harvesting this field here, potentially not going to be the best option for him. You only will get 1/3 of the value of the tib if he does this. I think EA nerfed this in 1.01. I remember in 1.0 this used to give 100% value of the tib, so it was pretty insane. Like, all you needed was a Marv, and you didn't really need any harvesters or refineries. You just quick tech Marv and then harvest your expansion tib field, and that was pretty insane back in the day. But yeah, Unleashed going to try and pick apart some of these harvesters here. He's going to get one for his trouble. It looks like C-Tiberium going to be recalled as well. Marv is not sure what he's doing. He needs to be wary of EMP as well. That's potentially an upgrade that IamTwinKlef can consider. He's on 4 harvesters though, 5. He may want to get 1 or 2 more out because he's losing them. He's on avatars now, and there's no air threat for him. And I just feel that a few Raider buggies, and this could be Unleashed dead in this game. A few EMP buggies would probably seal it for IamTwinKlef. But yeah, let's see what Unleashed decides to do. He's pulling back, revealing the rear arm of the Marv. That's not wise. Pitbull's coming in here to try and strike the Redeemer from the back, but that's not going to be good. He's going to get raged, and then he's not going to be able to control his Pitbulls. That was a huge mistake for Unleashed. So Unleashed in this game, he's not microing at all. I don't feel that he's doing a good enough job there, and he does fortunately escape with a handful of Pitbulls. Could have been worse, but yeah, the Marv's going to retreat. Looks like a few avatars were left behind, and he's got 2 groups of pits Unleashed. He's still spamming them out. He may want to transfer these 2 to the blue Tiberium field, but yeah, looks like IamTwinKlef has managed to, I presume that was an outpost, but yeah, he's got a refinery on the expansion field here, so he does have a backup plan if all things go south. And he's almost depleted this Tiberium here. He may want to get 1 more harvester out, as I said before. The Marv taking some damage here from the Redeemer. Is he going to have enough to deal with this? He's calling in the Shockwave Artillery. Gets the Redeemer, so that's going to definitely be a bit dead Redeemer. The Pitbulls have been spared from this fight, and they're going to be a problem for IamTwinKlef. Unleashed, he's on no Tiberium right now, so we have to look at it this way. Despite him securing that win in that engagement, he still has no Tiberium. He can long leash harvest that blue tip though. I fully expect him to do that now. He's on 2 harvesters here. It puzzles my mind how he's going for this field when the blue tip's there, but yeah, nevertheless, he does have a load of Pitbulls in the north. He could probably take a peek into this base though. There is 4 avatars there, so that's going to be a problem for him. Obelisk being dropped, so that should scare them back. And it looks like Unleashed had the same idea, going for a refinery on the bottom field as well. Wow. So Unleashed did indeed have an ace up his sleeve. He's not going to be falling low on funds, though he only has 1 harvest this field, whereas IamTwinKlef has more than that. But yeah, the moment Pitbull rallies his Pitbulls over there, he's going to be in all sorts of trouble. What is IamTwinKlef going to do? He surely must know that the point of contention now for Unleashed is this bottom field and the blue field. He needs to take a peek in there with potentially stealth tanks, or maybe just send some Scorpion tanks around there to see what's up. And nice micro there, saves a harvester. We want to get those two back to work, maybe transfer them to this field, but the Marv's slowly making its way down here. I'm not sure if Unleashed is aware that the base has been secured here. I mean, I guess you can see some missing tip crystals here, but he's going to probably see that there is a base here now. He's on double ref now. He can go for sonic emitters still because he hasn't sold his tier 3 off, so I mean that's going to be a problem for IamTwinKlef if he's to secure that. He's going for another Redeemer now. The Marv deciding to harvest this field, so not bothering to order these harvesting dead tip to take that, which is fine. Not something I would have done personally, but these harvesters here, they need to. I mean, nice micro, they pulling that back there. Obelisk here will confirm to Unleashed that he has ground control here, and that should prompt the Marv to take the fight there. But IamTwinKlef, he needs to get a scout off. Something that he is not doing right now is scouting the enemy base. He needs to see what's up. He is versus ZOCOM, he cannot forget that. So air transitions will be very powerful. He has no tip core researched yet, which is surprising because ZOCOM can make air transitions work very well. But here comes the pitbull spam, and there's only one obelisk here to really fend this off. He may just want to commit and kill these harvesters, but since he has the pitbull's mortars, maybe he can get some damage done on this. But yeah, there's a vapor bomb coming. Unleashed, you need to micro. Unleashed. What else was happening though at that time? I don't understand. His Redeemer and his avatars are still at base. He's not really focusing at all. He's gonna lose his base now to the Marv. Not unnecessarily losing that many pitbulls. There's only one Scorp tank in the back here for IamTwinKlef. He's not responding quick enough. He's going for potentially another obelisk here. He's gonna probably lose ground control though, unless he fences this refinery, so he won't be able to place that. And the Marv here is just gonna get experience for killing structures. But here comes the Redeemer and the avatars. No EMP for IamTwinKlef now. And this rig doing some major work here, actually taking out harvesters, trying to leech this Tiberium. So that was a nice move there for Unleashed. Not sure if it was deliberate, but I guess so. The stealth detection radius of the rig is pretty decent. And the Marv's going to retreat. Another obelisk comes down. Veteran Marv for Unleashed. And that's really all he has now. And a few pitbulls, though he didn't really. I mean, he didn't need to lose those pitbulls, didn't he? And here comes another shockwave, though I don't think it's going to be enough this time. He only has a Marv. He's going to get the Redeemer and all the avatars. So, wow, that's doing some colossal damage there. And also the sonic emitters being in range of all this. And this is going to be a problem. Another sonic emitter comes down for IamTwinKlef. What is he going to do here? He's going to pull back his Redeemer. I feel that the Marv can chase. It does have 2 engineers inside of it, so it will receive repairs over time. He may want to get War Factory down, though, or maybe even move that rig that's on the blue field to this base so he can get some repairs for it. And this Marv taking damage. Is he going to go down? I would definitely be focusing on it. IamTwinKlef, if you take this out, that's going to be almost certainly Unleashed chance of winning this game dead. Because he can just, put double engineer his Redeemer and endlessly focus down these obelisks. They're easy to micro around. You don't have to commit to destroying them if you're going to lose your Redeemer. So yeah, looks like another C-Tiberium was used for IamTwinKlef. He's just continuing recycling that. The spikes still remain for Unleashed. Here comes the battle base for him. He needs to just focus on this Marv. But yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't done so. Maybe some Vertigos would be able to finish it up, though. He's going to get some repairs now from this battle base. He needs to commit to destroying that. He needs to put engineers in his Redeemer. He needs to get a War Factory here, man, like to repair his units. And, potentially even sell this chemical plant and go for a imp coils. You could also tip vein this field, because tip vein compared to nowadays does so much damage. It will probably take those down to like 20% health, these sonic emitters, which will make it a lot easier for him to deal with. Alternatively, you could go for some beam cannons and charge these obelisks up, which does increase the range and damage of the obelisk. It's actually 10% for every obelisk for every beam cannon that you do that with. Stacks up to 4, by the way. But yeah, it looks like we've come to a little bit of a standstill. Few pitbulls in the back of the base. They could probably take out this power plant here. Blue Tiberium still remains Unleashed. He's on 4 harvesters. Both sides are kind of scraping for funds in this game. Unleashed, though, does have those 2 spikes at the bottom, plus his original spike. Neither side has lost any spikes in this game. Spectre's now coming out for IamTwinKlef. And Redeemer Marv maybe getting a bit too ambitious there. He may want to focus down this battle base. If Unleashed smart, he could probably push it back, though the Redeemer is in range of it. No garrisons in the Redeemer yet for IamTwinKlef. He's got Spectres out though, which will be a problem. What Unleashed can do is he could build a airfield, place the airfield here, and as we saw in that game between Advanced Noob and Khufu, the airfield, depending on its spawn, will actually change the spawn of the bombers. So if you place it here, and assuming you have no other airfield, you could get the Orcas to spawn from here, and it would quickly take out these Spectres. He'd have no chance to, or no time to pack those Spectres up. He wouldn't be able to undeploy them. If you could rage this Redeemer, it would prevent it from being microed, which will allow these avatars to DPS it down quickly. Spectres taking out this battle base here as well. Redeemer gets a nice shot off. Another shockwave comes down, and he's going to retreat from this. Unleashed really can't afford to push into this Redeemer, I don't think. He's going to get focused down by those Spectres, and he's meanwhile spamming out a bunch of pit bulls. He could probably do like a ravage into this base here. There's a couple of obelisks that he needs to be wary of, though. They can probably pick off some of these undefended power plants, all things considered. This is not a really high skill game, guys, but nevertheless it is entertaining to watch, and I don't have any clue who's going to win this game right now, but if I am to tip it to someone, it would be IamTwinKlef, simply because he has the numbers, the Redeemer, and the 4 avatars. But this Marv, he needs to try and just get the Redeemer in front so it can absorb that damage. He's on low HP though, so he will be moving slower than the avatars, so they won't be able to chase it down. But here comes the pit bulls. Is it going to be enough though? He's going to get the Marv. Yes, it goes down. And a quick rage gen here should be able to end all these pit bulls, but let's see what he does. Wow, he gets all of them. Not sure what he was doing there. Maybe a focus firing, but back then Mortars had a tendency also of doing self damage to the pit bulls, which was bad. It was actually unwise to go for mortar upgrade if you were to go for a pit v pit engagement, because you would take huge casualties on your own pit bulls. Sometimes it was quite bad when you had like infantry amongst all your pits or something like that. You would just take so much damage doing that. But yeah, he's got an obelisk queued. He can take that out. Tier 2 will go down. He could sell that off and get a full Black Hand squad. By the way, if you didn't know, selling structures off before they die gets you the scout on full HP. In fact, in the case of a buzzer hive, if you don't sell it, you don't get the buzzer. So you have to make sure that you sell your buzzer hive self to get something back before they die. Something that I didn't actually know until very recently, in fact. So I knew it with all the other factions, but I didn't know that Skren buzzer hives gave buzzers, and that could have actually saved me a few times in many games. But yeah, he's going for mass avatar here. The Marv is out again for Unleashed. Typical Unleashed, going for the same build and strategy. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for him. He lost all his pit bulls. He does have another refinery up here, so Unleashed still has eco. And one thing about Kane's Wrath is that the Tiberium always regrows. It's not like StarCraft, where once the resources are dried out, there's no more resources. Though I guess it'll take a lot of units to for that to happen in StarCraft too. In StarCraft, players often end up banking so much cash when they have reached their supply cap, and I guess they just rebuild their armies. So Avatar here looks like it was wandering off. Not sure what it was doing, but he's going to pull that back. He's going to probably scout up here, see what's up. Though if he loses this avatar near the enemy base, he's obviously just going to throw down a barracks and take that straight away. The Marv is being sent to its doom here. I don't really recommend that. And what is IamTwinKlef going to do? He's moving his MCV somewhere. He needs to consider a transition. He's losing his Spectres. And another shockwave comes down for Unleashed. He's going to get a nice shockwave here. He's going to take out all of those avatars. He could probably move that Marv forward and take him out. The rig needs to be deployed. He will be losing that if he doesn't. And Unleashed, unfortunately, not capitalizing on his chance there to kill those avatars, though many of them are on low HP. They're going to grant a ton of experience to Unleashed. And this Marv getting dangerously low on HP now. I'm not sure if he can escape from this. The Redeemer can definitely chase it back, and that is definitely going to go down, that Marv, I think. He's trying to block it though with the silos, but yeah, he gets it there. Now there is no anti-infantry here, so I feel that that's going to be a problem, though he is trying ever so hard to deal with these units here. The Redeemer can focus these pit bulls down one by one, and it's just a problem. He has a Redeemer in the back of the base. No Flame Trooper on the Redeemer, so he's not going to be able to burn down these structures. That's one thing about the Mock Redeemer, is that you can't really use it as like a giant flame tank. He needs to focus down this husk here. IamTwinKlef, you need to kill this husk, man. Like either destroy it or just crush the engineer. What's he doing? He needs to kill this husk. He kills it straight away. Okay, well that's good. Avatars, they're everywhere. I'm not sure. He must have these on rally points, these war factories. But yeah, Unleashed has cleaned up all that Tiberium. He's going for another Marv. He doesn't need to keep his tier 3 if he plans to go for Marvs, because the Marv is the only epic unit where you do not require a tier 3 to build. And he's going to get this. He's not decisive. He's going to pull back. I mean, it is a veteran Redeemer, but doesn't want to lose that. He has no reason to. He can probably get some engineers in that. It is a very valuable unit now, and looks like IamTwinKlef got an expansion, placed down a refinery there on that blue field, so that's going to be a pretty big deal for him. We want to get a war factory down so he can get some repairs on this. He needs to rally his forces to this field. Unleashed, he's going to make a move for that field now. He's on no harvest. I mean, he's got some Tiberium to harvest here. Building an airfield. Maybe he's going to now transition into Orcas or something, or in his case, Zorkas. Takes out the husk. Nice work. And yeah, he needs to pull his harvesters to that field now. He's again recycling the C-type mobility, which is very good. Looks like he's got some eco. He's in better position than Unleashed. He needs to probably destroy these husks if he's not going to commit to capturing them. If I were versus Unleashed, I'd just destroy them, as I always did in the past, because I knew that Unleashed would just fucking take them back straight away. But yeah, he didn't get any repairs with this Redeemer, which could be a problem versus his full health Marv. And he should have saw this coming. He's got an Obelisk Cute, I think, right now. So he may be able to deal with this. He does have his tier 4, I don't think. No, he actually sold that off for the... because you can see the Zone Raider squad there. And he's going to pull back that Marv, taking tons of damage already. He's going to secure this base. I assume that he lost the Harvester there, so that's exactly what Unleashed was looking for, just to deny that blue tier from coming in. Avatar still under Unleashed control. So yeah, let's see what IamTwinKlef's going to do. He's going to rally some harvesters to that blue field right now, which is smart of him. He needs to go for a war factory, heal this Redeemer up. That's really what he should be doing. And he's kept his tip chemical plant around, which is nice. Often nowadays we just decide to sell them off and rebuild them. You do get the Black Can squad for that proposition. And it's handy when you don't have resources. So if you want resources quickly to build like a harvester out, then that's good. He's going to put his Redeemer near this war factory. He can get some nice repairs. And... Unleashed, he's still in this game, albeit barely. He's going for Zorkas right now. Okay then, let's see what he's going to do with those. Getting the ceramic armor as well, which is a wise choice as well, because he's in the late game, and the nod anti-air options available to them are going to be very, very lethal. He's going to probably one-shot those Orcas without the ceramic armor. So yeah, he's going to be able to one-shot kill this Harvester in the Tiberium. In fact, he decides instead to go for the Spectre. How did he see that? He must have used a radar scan. But he's going to come up here with the Marv. IamTwinKlef, what's he doing? He needs really to... He's getting some repairs with Redeemer. He's going for the spikes now as well. There's no Garrison's rifles in there now, so he will be able to take those back. He's got a barracks there. He must surely know that his Redeemer is not Garrison or anything. He needs to put double engineers in there. The Redeemer Marv coming into this base. There is double obelisk though on this field, which is going to be a problem. He's going to take it down to low HP already. He's going to come down here. And he's going to try and deal with this Obelisk of Light. I would have probably sold that off there, but yeah, he's going to get some work done here. The Marv, he may want to retreat though. He has no idea what's in the fog of war. Another Avatar comes out. And like, this game would have been so much easier if IamTwinKlef got the EMP coils. He could have like maybe even cloaked it versus the Marv though. Probably not wise, because Unleashed is committed to making so many pitfalls in this game. He is on Zorkas now, which is again another option for stealth detection if IamTwinKlef decides to go for the stealth route. They can use sensor pods, which are, I'd argue, one of the best stealth detection means in the game. Probably the best in the game actually, because it only costs $100 and you get the stealth detection radius of like more than the pitbull as far as I'm aware. Back in the day you couldn't put them on a Marv though, which was unfortunate. If the Marv had an engineer inside of it, the engineer would repair the sensor pod off of it for some reason. We fixed that though, 1.02 plus. CGF arguably is super broken because I don't know what made him think that, but yeah, he actually reduced the radius of the stealth detection of the sensor pod in the Marv when he fixed that bug. But it is what it is. And the Redeemer going to come into this base. He's going to find there's not very much here. Unleashed and his Marv. He's over here getting repairs for it. And IamTwinKlef, he needs to go for buggies. Like if he can... So there's only one unit there and the rig. Both are vulnerable to the EMP. Stealth tanks out on the field here for IamTwinKlef. And here comes a Zorka strike. Gonna miss his target though. Stealth Tank 4 killing those Zorkas, I guess. He's got many of them here and they're gonna get taken out. He's gonna take them out right now. Only gets one of them. He needs to camp the airfield now. He's he needs to be really microing, man. Like, he could focus these down quickly on the deck. He's gonna try and do that, I think. Yeah, he is. And I guess he got the work done there though. He's leaving Husk behind. This Redeemer has no garrison inside of it. He's going to be forced to use the $3,000 cloaking support power. He's getting a lot of income because he's harvesting that blue tip right now. Unleashed, he probably is struggling for funds, so he's going to use that Marv and try and, you know, harvest this field. This base is going to probably be destroyed now, and IamTwinKlef, he's on good eco. He's got forces scattered everywhere. And this Redeemer going to come up here. This is just a handful of units that he needs to take care of, like basic infantry units. Looks like he's got... No, he hasn't even got Tyrant field suits. So, yeah, he's going to lose his MC3 most certainly now. He can't really deploy it or pack it up because he will get one-shot by the Redeemer, which is now elite. So, it has a real chance of going heroic. And I think that Unleashed in this game, he needs a backup plan. He's losing his base. There's a power plant down here. The MCV was destroyed. Does he have anything on the map that can probably save him in this game? He has that power plant. I wonder if IamTwinKlef is aware of that. The Redeemer cannot certainly beat this. I mean, the Marv can't win the base trade. There's just a base everywhere on the map right now. I just have no idea. I have no idea how this is going to go down. The Redeemer going to destroy this power plant. I just can't see anything on the minimap. It's a pretty useless minimap. I've been playing Battle for Middle-earth 2 lately, and it's just as bad as this game. I can't see anything on it. There was what do you call it? A hack that Crazy Zocker had, and apparently it made a stroke around all the units on the minimap, and that would have been decent to put in the patch, to be honest, if it was a thing. Not that I condone the patches, the hacks, of course, but if it had the feature to put strokes around units on minimaps, then yeah, that's something that should have been implemented in the game to begin with. I think that's how it was done in Red Alert 3, but yeah, the avatars making their way up here. The power plant's down here. I wonder if he's aware of that. His Redeemer is he's not entirely certain what's going on. The Marv is elite. He's just gifting units now to Unleashed. His Redeemer has a real chance of going heroic. Another tech lab has been built down here. I wonder why that was. Maybe he's want to go for more avatars. Infantry would have been a good move as well. The harvesters and battle base have been caught up here. There is one power plant though for Unleashed. That's really all that he has to his name. The Redeemer, I'm not sure if he saw that. I mean, surely he must know. I mean, if you go to his point of view, he can see that he saw that earlier. Marv going heroic. It's going to be real. It's going to be almost impossible to deal with. The Redeemer is going to get destroyed. I don't agree with standing here to fight. That's not a good idea. He's going to lose that straight away. As much health as that Redeemer has, being elite, it does not compete with this Marv with triple Zone Raider inside of it. He's going for infantry now. He doesn't have any upgrades. Redemption would be pretty decent. You get Awaken, which you could use to EMP this, though they were pretty buggy back in the day. And Harvesters here going to be used to try and deal with this Avatar Husk. And really, it's just that Husk. I mean, he's got a Black Hand squad here, man. Like, he can still win this game. He just needs to use this Black Hand squad and look on his radar. He can see that there's a power plant there. He was there. He just didn't destroy it. And that's all that he has to destroy. Forget about destroying the Marv. That's a done deal at this point. He needs to be focusing on this power plant here. But I'm just wondering what's going through his mind. I'm curious. I'm going to go to his Fog of War. I'm curious. He's going for... What's he doing? He's over here. He's trying to look all over the place for the base. He can't see it anywhere though. And I think that he himself is on one power plant now. And that is probably going to be destroyed. This Black Hand Squad was left at base the whole time. And Unleashed, he probably will be taking this game because that's his only building right now. IamTwinKlef, he's lost his entire base. And the Harvester will contribute to IamTwinKlef's demise there. And that was a pretty decent game. I felt that IamTwinKlef, it was just so close for him winning that game. You should have gone for Garrison his Redeemer firstly, so you didn't have to waste $3,000 on cloaking his the opponent's infantry, because the Tip Trooper Garrison does decent versus that. Furthermore, I just feel that he should have gone for end buggies as well. He didn't do that game. There's many things that I could pick out from either side. Unleashed, he lost a lot of people to the tip vapor bomb. That was unnecessary, and I just feel that that was a game that both sides made a lot of mistakes in. But nevertheless, it was a very close game. And for that reason, I'd say it was a pretty good game to watch. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this game. And we'll be bringing some more games, potentially even some Battle Middle Earth, though I want to get more familiar with the game before I bring you some content on that. So yeah, this is Master Leaf. Peace out.